Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the channel. I'm excited you guys are here. I can see we got 3 people online right now, which is great. Before we start brewing our coffee here, I just want to make sure that my audio is good before we kick off here. So let's see here. If you could hear me, go ahead and just type something there on the chat to see if we can confirm that it's going good. Okay, I see Joel. Joel, how you doing, man? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just type yes. Perfect, perfect. Hey, Sai, how you doing, man? I'm glad you guys joined today. Perfect. So it is 9 in the morning, so it's here in California. Right now, I'm traveling. For those of you that saw my last video, I'm gonna be traveling with my wife for the next 3 months, and then I'm back in Nicaragua there in the hot weather. It is cold in California right now, so those of you who are in California, I know you can feel this right now. I miss the hot weather in Nicaragua. But today's event is really the first episode of an idea that I have where we're just gonna start sharing either a coffee, a tea, or whatever you drink in the morning. And if you have questions, then we can throw them in the comments, and maybe eventually users can log on, and then we can all share this cup of coffee together. On top of people joining, I believe we're going to have a farmer from Nicaragua also join. So hopefully he can make it to the online platform. If he does, I'll let you guys know. And that way, if you guys have questions about the coffee we're brewing, you can throw it in the chat and we can ask them. So let's go ahead and get started to show you what I got. Today's brews. So we're gonna be making what I have in my house. So in my house, I have this coffee right here. I know the bag's really blue there, stands out a lot. I have this coffee here, and I have this other coffee. So right now in my house, I have a total of 3 coffees from different roasters. So a little bit of background here, so you can look behind the coffee. So this roaster right here, it's Cat and Cloud. These guys are actually based out of California, and they have a few coffee shops here. And what's cool about them is that their motto is to take care of their employees. So they're one of the very few coffee shops that actually give like good PTO and good benefits to their employees. But we're not going to try this one today. This one right here is Auxiliary Coffee. So Auxiliary Coffee I actually bought while I was in Portland not too long ago for a wedding. Now, Auxiliary Coffee is from a person who travels to Kenya, and he buys his beans from women farmers only. So this whole bag was picked by women, processed and shipped by women only, which is actually rare in the coffee industry, which is mainly dominated by males. So super cool story, and actually a really cool dude. I'm gonna see if I can do a live interview with him one day. But yeah, we'll put this one aside. These next 2 coffees we'll try over the next 2 days. So right now, what we have here left behind is Los Volcancitos coffee. Now, this coffee here is from Nicaragua. So I brought this coffee back from my latest trip while I was living down there with my wife, and I actually got to meet the coffee producer. So the reason this is called Los Volcancitos, that's because it's volcano in Spanish, right? When you go to his farm and you're standing in this farm, you can see 3 huge hills like this, which look like little volcanoes. And that is because his farm is located in Mozonte, which is a region that's the highest of Nicaragua. So that's the coffee we're brewing here. Let me see if Sergio, si estás en línea, y me escuchas, por favor, pone un mensaje ahí en el chat para que sepamos que ya estás en línea. So we sent him a message to make sure if he's online, he can let us know. That way, in case you guys have questions. So the method we're doing, right? This is the coffee beans. Usually, I brew my coffee with a Chemex in the morning because I'm fancy like that. It's complicated. It takes longer. I'm not sure why I'm still doing it, but I love it. If you use a percolator, whatever you use, it's okay as long as you get that cup of coffee. So we use a Chemex. On this side over here, I have my water brewer. Actually, this was given to me by a fan, so a follower on YouTube, which was super cool. So if you're on here, thank you very much. I use it every day, and I appreciate it. So we'll get the water brewing here while we're still talking about the coffee. So let me make sure that gets going there. All right. Okay, so as the water's brewing, we're gonna go ahead and grind the coffee. Usually, I grind my coffee with a hand grinder every morning, just because I like to grind only the amount I'm going to be using. Because if I over grind, then it loses its freshness eventually. So every morning, I would get beans out of the bag and just put them into this top area right here. So this grinder is actually very sturdy. If you're looking to like step up your coffee game, or maybe even grind pepper for your steaks or whatnot, you can buy this grinder here on Amazon. It's called Hex. Very good. I've dropped it over 300 times and it's still working just fine. This is already grinded though. I did it pre-hand because it makes a lot of noise and I didn't want to annoy you guys with grinding noises here, but smells delicious. If you guys can see there, that coffee right there is from Los Volcancitos, and it smells amazing. Smells like berry. Dennis says it smells good. I think he has that new smell-o-vision TV that you can smell through here. I am great. You can smell that. It smells like blueberry. Amazing. So that is the brew that we're gonna put on there. And then let's bring the Chemex over here. So before I continue, let me know online here for the people online. Are you guys drinking coffee, tea, or water? What are you guys up to there? Just drop it in the section. Let's see what majority wins here. Or maybe you're not even drinking anything at all. So let's go ahead and get our paper filter. All right, looks like Sai is drinking tea. My man, I know he doesn't drink coffee. And Courtney's waiting for her cup of coffee. Well, we're brewing her cup of coffee right now, so she's gonna have to wait a little longer. All right, Kawi Roots. All right, Hannah, I'm glad you joined. Looks like you're drinking coffee too. And then it's cafecito. Right, David. I don't know if he's drinking coffee there. We'll put this off to the side right here. So now tell you a little bit more about this farm right here. So Los Volcancitos is actually located in the tallest part of Nicaragua. So Nicaragua has some very tall mountains. I believe the highest mountain is around 2,200 meters above sea level. And he's right like in that area. So because it's called Los Volcancitos, you can see those volcanoes forming. And because of that, he can produce very, very delicious coffee. Okay, Sergio looks like he's online. So actually, so Sergio is the guy who produced these beans. So he is the coffee farmer. If you have questions for the farmer himself, Sergio, drop them there. And it's going to be a little confusing, but I'm going to translate them on my phone and I'll message him with the voicemail so he can answer the questions for us. And that way you have a direct connection with the farmer. Looks like Kawi Roots just returned back from Nicaragua, and you can't wait to go back, dude. That is awesome. I'm waiting to go back also. Hopefully you enjoyed your trip out there. I know the weather's nice right now. So any questions for Sergio, just feel free to drop them in the comment section right there. He is actually a very young coffee producer who started farming coffee about like 9 months ago. So he's really just getting into this, and he has a large learning curve. Okay, all right. Let me. Looks like there's a question for Sergio. So we're gonna take this to WhatsApp, and I'm gonna message Sergio. Te voy a mandar un mensaje por WhatsApp. Sergio, tenemos una pregunta ahorita que a dónde pueden comprar tu café ahorita. Él está ubicado en los Estados Unidos. All right, Mr. Cypher Brown, I sent that question to Sergio. We'll give him a minute. Sergio, te mandamos una pregunta por medio de WhatsApp ahí para que la puedas contestar. Okay, it looks like the water is boiling. There you go. So usually people pre-wet their filter. They bring out a scale. They weigh everything. I did that enough times to remember the process and remember about how many grams it goes in. So I never weigh anything anymore. I just fill it up, the grounds all the way up to the top. And I just make sure that I put water up to this little point right here. And it turns out perfect. So let's go ahead and throw it in. Okay. All right. Looks like we got a response from Sergio, the farmer. Let's see. Okay, Sergio. So, Sai, to answer your question, very good question. He said it's not available in the United States yet. I have the only bag here, limited edition. I'll sell it to you for a very expensive price. No, I'm just kidding. So he said it's not available in the United States. He is working on getting it to the United States, but right now it's only available to Nicaragua. So you're gonna have to travel there to go get it. You can come with me and I can show you around. It'll be a good trip. So now that we have the water here, we're gonna head and pour. We're gonna go ahead and pour the water in. All right. After we pour, we're gonna let the coffee chill for a little bit and let it bloom, so that hot water can go in there and do its things with the coffee, so we can get the most flavor. So that is perfect. As I mentioned, it was a pleasure to meet Sergio in Nicaragua. We had a good time together because we're both in the same time frame, right? And for those of you following the channel, know that I'm starting a coffee farm in Nicaragua. So coffee farming in general is like really difficult, and getting to meet someone almost along the same path, it just makes it much better. Because I mean, what's life if you're not having fun out there where you're trying to do something difficult, right? You always got to remember to smile. But a cool fact about this coffee here is that he took over the farm, and there was a coffee competition going on in Nicaragua, which was called the Cup of Excellence, which is the La Taza Excelencia. So La Taza Excelencia, what it does, it takes all these farmers and opens this platform so they can all compete for the best coffee. So these platforms will open the doors and say, submit your samples. Let's see, bring them to the table. Let me taste it, and we'll tell you guys which one has the best coffee. So this bag right here competed against 300 coffees of Nicaragua. He ended up winning fourth place. So that's a pretty big deal. Imagine competing against 300 competitors and winning fourth place. So it goes to show what good coffee this is. So right now we're drinking this, like I'd say this limited edition, like high quality coffee. Um, and I'm very excited because eventually my goal is to compete too, but I got a long ways before I get there. So it was cool to see one of my friends come up like that and win the competition. All right, looks like on the poll, a lot of people are drinking coffee. Some people are waiting for coffee, and Sai is the only one drinking tea there. So perfect. That is nice. Actually, I want to know from you guys while we're waiting for this brew to come up, how many coffees a day do you usually drink? Just drop the number below. I'm gonna actually drop my number down below. How many cups of coffee I drink a day? Don't judge me, please. Don't judge me. There it is, right there. Uh, let's see. Okay, we got 2 from Courtney. Wow, nice. All right, Sai drinks coffee once or twice a week. Wow, that is incredible because I actually personally know Sai and he has a lot of energy. I'm not sure where he gets all his energy there. Well, very good question. So, question from Sergio is look, David has a question for Sergio there. It says, what are some of the most difficult things you've encountered from coffee farming? Sergio, tenés otra pregunta de un amigo mío que se llama David y te la voy a enviar ahorita para que la puedas contestar. Um, David quiere saber qué son una de las dificultades que has encontrado siendo un productor de café. Esa es su pregunta. A very good question. It might be a 14-page question because there's a lot of difficulties when it comes to farming coffee. So we'll see what he says. All right, the coffee is almost to the right level there. Okay, we'll put this back. In the next like 2 weeks, I plan on doing a review for this coffee and this other coffee over here. So this is gonna be epic. I don't know the farmers or producers, but I know the owners of this coffee. So it's gonna be cool to get to taste their coffee and see their backstory. I mean, if you go to Whole Foods, you see all those coffees down the aisles, right? It's like an endless options, and it's kind of hard to pick at some points. So when you actually know what you're buying behind this bag, like when you know the person here, it just makes drinking that coffee so much better because you know where it comes from, you know the person, and you know he's doing things correctly, right? So it's a incredible thing to be able to do. All right, looks like the brew is coming up. We're gonna take this filter out right here. I'm gonna put it on this side. And then I'm gonna move this. So we are going to use this cup right here. This red cup is from REI. I don't know why, I just like the color. I use it all the time. And we're gonna go ahead and pour some of this fresh coffee. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells incredible. All right, we'll save some for Courtney there because she wants some coffee there. Uh, okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and give it a try. First cup of coffee in the morning here. I mean, delicious. You can't expect anything else because he was fourth place best coffee in Nicaragua, right? He's bringing a lot to the table here. So tastes incredible, super smooth, well balanced, and it's beautiful. And then speaking of his coffee, he just answered right now. So we're gonna answer the question that David had there, and we'll see. We'll take a look what he said. Okay, so David's question was, what are some of the difficult things about you encountered for farming coffee? His answer is the high prices of fertilizers and goods. So right now in Nicaragua, everything is elevated. As you can see in the U.S. too, everything's expensive. Fertilizer prices in Nicaragua skyrocketed, making it difficult to still become profitable. And also the labor, hand labor, like the newer generation of people working out there, they don't want to farm coffee. So it's difficult to find people. Like if you think about nowadays, everyone has social media, they have a phone, they look at Instagram, they see videos of other things, other lives they can have, and they look at coffee farming. And they're like, why would I go pick cherries and not make that much where I can leave my country, try to find a better alternative in different countries and make more money? So high costs of materials and labor shortages are one, and also so pricing too. A lot of people don't pay enough for their coffee. Like they're not willing to pay the producer, the farmer, more for their coffee, even if they're putting out more. So getting someone or partnering with someone that recognizes what you're doing and paying you a fair price, that's a big help. So those are three big challenges there. Good question, David. That was very interesting. Sergio, gracias por responder. Ya les comuniqué las dificultades que tenemos en la finca ahí. In the future, it would be nice if we could all try the same coffee. So we would eventually evolve this and try to organize it better. Um, right now, I'm going to be going to Spain pretty soon. So I'm excited to go check out the coffee shops over there. So I'll be releasing some videos of the coffee shops that are down there. Any more questions for Sergio? This is a unique opportunity. I just want you guys to think about that. You have someone else right now in Nicaragua that actually grows the coffee, right? So it's a unique opportunity to ask him anything. Doesn't have to be coffee related, but it was very kind of him to join today. Wow, that is amazing. Usually coffee in the morning, I drink it by itself. I don't eat anything. I just like to drink the coffee and eat later in the day. That way I don't just mess up the flavor or the taste of coffee. When I'm making coffee in the percolator, it still turns out good, but I just find like in the Chemex, making it this style is very good. If you don't own a Chemex, you can also buy a V60, which is a good way to put this into the coffee and make it taste good. I'm gonna open the table to Sergio, so I'm gonna send a message to Sergio, and I'm gonna ask him if there's anything he wants you guys to know about or about him. So I'm gonna send a message now, and that way we can hear his story a little bit. Sergio, ¿alguna cosa, pues, un mensaje que quieras que la gente sepa de tu café o de tus cosas que tenés allá en Nicaragua y lo que estás haciendo? Un mensaje ahí pequeño para poder pasarle a la gente. Gracias. So we'll see what Sergio says. I want him to just deliver a message to you guys and for you to kind of understand where he's coming from. Sergio, te mandé un mensaje por WhatsApp. Okay, let's take a look here. Hopefully you guys are finding this valuable. It's been really nice to get it ready and organized. Sergio said he is going to respond now. Okay, perfect. So Sergio's farm actually is located to uh, Mosonte. So it's a department. It's a department in Nicaragua, and right there in Mosonte is Mountain Mogoton. Mogoton is about like 2,200 meters above sea level. So you can imagine this massive mountain. It's actually the tallest point of Nicaragua. Excuse me. And this point here is beautiful. Like you go climb that, you can hike it. If you start from the very bottom to the top, it takes you like 12 hours, 16 hours. Or you can go camp around the coffee farms there and eventually hike up to the mountain. So it's a super cool, adventurous experience that I think everyone should do it. Yeah, when I'm in Nicaragua, if one of you guys want to come out and try it, we could go together and knock that hike out. But because that mountain is there, what happens with that mountain? It creates a microclimate around that whole region for the climate just to come in at a certain time, be cold, rainy, get hot, then be cold, rainy, get hot, be misty. So this climate is consistently changing, which makes the coffee cherry mature at a slower rate because of the altitude. So then you get better flavors. So if Kawi Roots is online still, I'd like to ask you what part of Nicaragua did you go to? If you can drop it in the comment section there below. I'm interested to see if you were up north or close to the beach there. That would be super cool to find out. So Sergio is working on responding right now, and we'll give him 2 more minutes. Um, this timing here at 9 in the morning, I'm glad you guys could join. I know it's actually a Wednesday, so it might be difficult for some people that are at work. We're going to potentially move this to Friday or Saturday, so hoping that more people can join. So it looks like Sergio replied here, and we're going to take a look at his message. So the question was, what do you want the audience or people to know about you, about your farm? And let's check it out. I'm going to read it right now. Says we are working to have the best quality in the coffee at all times. We're working to better our conditions in the farm. And if you wish, you can come to Nicaragua and come visit my cafe in Nicaragua, and we can go actually go to my farm, do a farm tour, go visit the nature and the scenery. It's actually the most beautiful thing that you can do there because it's incredibly gorgeous. So he's offering you guys an opportunity to go visit his cafe. He opened a cafe that I got the pleasure to visit while I was there, which is really cool, and he's making some very nice espresso. So the doors are open for you guys if you ever want to go try this out. Looks like Sai said he would love to. Ok, Sergio, ya respondí de la pregunta que te había hecho. Dije que están las puertas abiertas en Nicaragua si quieren ir a conocer tu finca. Y parece que hay una persona que dice que le encantaría ir. Entonces, yo los pondría en comunicación si pasaría algo. Yeah, so I think this is you're right, David. You can't beat that. You have the doors open, guys, from a farmer, so you can go visit his farm and he'll take you around and show you the area. So that is such a good opportunity. Okay. Any last questions, guys? Before I go, anything else that you wanna say or comment below? Give it a minute. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna conclude this. Hopefully, you enjoyed your coffee. Um, Next time, we'll figure out how everyone can try the same coffee. That would be cool. This is only the beginning. Uh, Los Volcancitos coffee. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share his Instagram. So he posts his pictures on his Instagram about his farm. So if you want to follow him on Instagram, if you're ever in Nicaragua, you can DM him and you can go visit him personally. He's really actually a good dude. So it was cool to see behind the coffee bean. Thank you guys for joining. Sergio, gracias. Ya va a terminar. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros y dar tu mensaje aquí a la gente. Y nos vemos en otra. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.